Yeah. Good to be back. Good to be back at it. You know, I felt like on Sunday we didn't play the way that we would have liked. We were pretty foggy on both ends. Had a important off day to kind of have the time together, and then a really good practice yesterday. So I'm not surprised. This is what you see. I felt like it was back to how we operate. You know, in terms of how we move with pace, how we can get stops together. So, you know, we were still a little foggy at times, too many turnovers, but I know part of it is you kind of see the scoreboard and there's a little bit less urgency, but can't say enough about the kid next to me. I mean, you know, I know there were some people that were wondering last year, and, you know, not seeing we knew that this was a process, and just really, really fun to watch her growth.
Was there a lot of film work and postmortems after Louisville? I mean, what was the mood of the team the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of them, right? Because I would say that it's our leadership crowd, the older guys, they came in, you know, it's hard to tie your shoes up and go at it, and they did. And we had good conversations over the course of the day after, and then a really good practice session, a longer film session to remind them that we're one of the more elite offensive teams in the country, and you just didn't play well enough. So that's just a part of it. So it sharpened up some of our movement, sharpened up some of the way we need to be, get that fog out. You know, I think this group is really competitive, so their hearts were broken, but they're also process oriented, and we know there's a whole lot of season left.
For you, Ciera, I mean, obviously Coach was just saying a bit of a longer than normal maybe film session, particularly looking at things on the offensive end. What stood out to you from that?
I think we just didn't really play like ourselves in that game, and the film obviously breaks that down and shows us what we're not seeing in the moment. So it was really good to see, and like Coach said, we had a really good practice focusing on those things from film, and I thought it was really helpful going into today.
What'd you learn from that?
I just learned that for us specifically, the posts, our pace like really changes the offense. We didn't really get out of screens very well in the game versus Louisville, so in that film session, we got to see that, and then in practice, we really changed our mindset on that, and I hope that carried over to today.
Mm-hmm.
Curious, how much do you take away from a game like this?
Well, because we actually showed in shoot-around, before shoot-around, we usually show the opponent, and we actually showed a lot of our, more of our practice from yesterday, you know, because, as C said, when they can separate and put some vertical attack on the rim and put some force, it opens up our offense in so many ways, and so we kind of got back to that. Again, this is a team that was playing about as well offensively as you could have before that game, and so I just didn't want them to. I didn't want them to have any self-doubt. I wanted to remind them of what makes us sharp, and so I think when we watch it back, it'll be good to see. And they did a little more zone, but I thought our zone pace was better too. But in the man possessions, we'll be able to really to make sure that to show them that they made the right adjustments.
Only one more non-conference game before you guys get back into conference play. Is there anything you want to see tighten up before you guys get back into the thick of it?
I mean, I can't help but pick on them for the turnovers. You know, it's just too many. I thought we missed, look at the free throw percentages. We shoot better from three than we do from the free throw line, right? Missed a lot of layups. You know, there's no doubt this is a long haul, right? This is not the time that you want to play your most competitive games because it's just a grind. And so we've got one more, and then they get to breathe for a minute, which I think will be really helpful to all of us, have a break from one another and just, you know, be with the people that we don't get to see enough. But one of the things we really take from these games is it's a competitive opportunity for the whole roster, right? And we're assessing. You guys finally got to see what we see every day in practice. I mean, it's, you know, me watching Tisa practice every day is what you guys finally got to see in live time. And so they just get to stack minutes that they're all competing to continue to help this team. And now there's more game film of more people to be able to use.
How do you deal with it? I mean, this is the worst free throw shooting game you've had in 4 seasons.
In 4 seasons, you said?
Yes.
Wow.
I mean,
I'm glad, actually.
Do you talk about it? How do you talk about it? Do you just practice more? How do you deal with that?
You know, it's the game pressure, right? You have to be able to make free throws in game pressure. You know, we don't move to the next drill until they make 5 free throws in a row, every one of them, right? So they make 5 free throws in a row, and I don't like to miss practice time. I don't like to give up practice time, so they do that very quickly. And so it's about game pressure, it's about mental fatigue. It's so no, you know, it's if their shot was broken from the free throw line, they probably wouldn't play. So no, I don't think I'll say a word about it.
I guess just we heard from the coach, but just for you, what did you get from this game? Again, folks might see the final score and everything, but what did you learn?
I think just in the huddle before the game, we kind of were looking around at each other and we were like, okay, we kind of know what this game is and we just need to focus on ourselves. Coming off the game of Louisville, we took a day and everyone kind of we were off, so everyone kind of sat in it. And to come back and have that good practice, we were like, okay, the motivation and everything comes from within this year. And that was kind of the emphasis before the game, like this is about us. This is a game where we can grow no matter who we're playing. So we just wanted to make sure we went out and did everything as well as we did the day before in practice to make sure that we just kept getting better.
Do your eyes get big when you look at the roster and you see you're 3 inches taller than anybody they have, thinking you might be able to feast?
Yeah. I mean, when I looked at their lineup and obviously the scout, it was another game where I was like, okay, I have an opportunity. And then when they came out in zone, the emphasis was on like locking out, and I think that was something that I did well today to get me a lot of open layups. So yeah, I mean, obviously you get a little excited when you see that you're just really big compared to the other people.
But also when you play other teams that you're as big as, get just as excited.
Yeah, oh for sure.
She's getting more. She's figuring out positioning. I mean, part of her maturation as a post player is figuring out before the catch positioning. We worked on that. We've been working on that. We obsessed on it yesterday in practice, and she carried it over. And now she's getting really easier shots in the post because she's a little bit more. She's just got better low post positioning before catch, which is just a new thing for her.
Can you comment on Nyla Brooks came back? I mean, actually tough shooting first half, didn't play in the second half, and then 4 3-pointers.
Yeah.
And really
Yeah.
scored a lot.
Yeah, Nyla's just is really gifted, and she's totally locked in. I spent a lot of time with her on the day off. I spent time with her watching film before the game. I mean, you know, in those possession games and ACC games, we have to lean on defensive reliability, right? And it's a growth area for her. And I thought she's continuing to step up. We're hearing her voice more. She's getting more accountable defensively. Had a good practice yesterday, defended well today. So, you know, that's offensively we know what we're going to get. It's can we continue to make sure that she grows in a way that allows her to be as good as she wants to be here, which is we keep pushing her in the right direction. And I thought defensively, as soon as she continues to grow in that area, she'll be pretty unstoppable.
I'm curious just for Lisa, obviously we've talked so much about like just what it took for even to be here playing for y'all. It's the you know, longer or more minutes out on the court today. What's impressed you most, just what you've seen from her, again, limited game minutes so far? But this
Her
is
genuine happiness. I mean, she's just a really pleasant human who's really grateful to be here and says thank you more than anyone I've ever coached. And you know, she understands that the strength and speed of college basketball in this country is very different than Euro basketball, and so she's got to kind of add that to her game. And so she's a very young freshman. She missed the entire summer, and so she's just kind of stacking days. She's stacking a lot of time in the weight room to kind of catch up for that. But I would say her happiness. She's just always smiling and grateful.